What's going on, everybody? I'm JR from HTG Gaming, and today I'm bringing you guys a video about some recently released information about the next Battlefield 4 DLC called Dragon's Teeth. And I don't know anything about maps or vehicles. This is just leaked information about weapons and weapon stats and some new, I guess you could say, equipment that's coming out. But this is basically just going to be an info video about these new leaked weapons. I'm sure there will be leaked information about the maps and maybe new vehicles, but for now, all we have is these weapons. So, to hop right into it, the first gun that I'm going to be discussing is a gun that I honestly never ever expected to be in Battlefield and is a shock to me. And it is the Desert Eagle. And the Desert Eagle has been in several Call of Duties, and it's typically not used that often in Call of Duty. The last time, or the last Call of Duty game that had the Desert Eagle in it, where the Desert Eagle was used a lot, was probably Modern Warfare 2. I mean, I know it was in the first Modern Warfare. I know it was basically in every Infinity War game except Ghosts. But it was just never really used seriously because it had such bad kick, and it had such a small mag that it just typically wasn't used very much. But just to go over some of the weapon stats, it'll have 56 max damage and 37.5 minimum damage, and those are the exact same weapon stats as the 44 Magnum. And as everyone knows, the 44 Magnum is the most powerful handgun in the game, but is also one of the slowest firing handguns in the game. So, it's typically like a one-shot headshot kill, but at the same time, it's if you're hurt, like if you have anywhere below, I want to say 60 to 50 damage, it could probably kill you in one hit. 44 Magnum is a very powerful gun, but it is definitely a very slow firing handgun in the game. It's going to have about 220 RPM, so it can let off 220 rounds a minute, and it's the exact same as the SW40, which was one of the most recent handguns released. It'll hold a 8-round magazine, and that is not including the 1 round that'll already be chambered. So altogether, it'll hold 9 rounds. It'll have about a 400 muzzle velocity, which is the exact same as the SW40. And there are some rumors going around right now that this gun might not have a trigger delay, but with the 220 RPM, I highly doubt that, because the SW40 has a trigger delay since it's a revolver, obviously. And if it shoots the exact same as that, I mean, that would only make sense. So I highly doubt there won't be a trigger delay. And if there wasn't a trigger delay, this gun would be an extremely overpowered handgun, because it's doing the same amount of damage as the 44 Magnum. But at the same time, it's firing much, much quicker. So I just can imagine that being extremely overpowered, but I have a feeling it'll be just as powerful as the 44, but it'll have a little bit higher of a firing rate and obviously more rounds in the chamber. So this could be a cool gun to run around with and get quick 2 one-shot kills maybe. The next gun is another hand pistol called the Unica 6. This gun has 56 max damage, same as the Desert Eagle, and instead of 37.5 minimum, it has 28 minimum, and that is the same damage stats as the SW40, which was released in the last DLC. And it fires about 210 rounds per minute, which is only 10 less than the SW40. It's got a little bit higher muzzle velocity at 440 instead of 400. Holds 6 rounds because it's obviously a revolver, and there will be a small trigger delay since it is a revolver. This gun, I'm not quite sure why they're putting it in the game. There must be something special about it, because if they're gonna have the R.A.W.R revolver, the 44 Magnum revolver, they already have the SW40, and they're gonna put the Desert Eagle in the game. I don't quite see another reason for another revolver, especially if this Desert Eagle is gonna be as good as the stats say, and it seems like it's gonna be a faster 44 Magnum. That seems like, the SW40 and this Unicus 6 basically seem like twins to me. I mean, they seem exactly alike, except for the stats are only a tad bit different. So I'm not quite sure why they would add in this pistol, but, you know, I guess just for fun. And the next gun is going to be a SMG. It's called the SIG MPX. It fires at about 850 rounds per minute. Has 27 max damage and 13 minimum damage, and I'm pretty sure this is a very low recoil weapon. It's very accurate. A 25 round magazine, so it's a little small, but since it'll be so accurate, I don't think the magazine will be much. It won't really hinder you. 340 muzzle velocity. So, this gun, I'm not sure if it's going to be a carbine or a PDW. If it's a PDW, that would make sense, but a carbine, it could work. It just looks a little too small to be a carbine to me, so it could go either way, but I think it's leaning more towards the PDW side. Next gun is the Bulldog, and a lot of people are saying this gun is going to knock the R.A.W.R pretty much out of the game, and you guys will see that why in a couple seconds when I talk about the stats. Shoots it 700 rounds per minute, has a 20 round magazine, so it's probably got one chambered, so really 21. 34 max damage and 25 minimum damage, which are the same exact stats as the R.A.W.R. And it's an assault rifle, so it'll be in the assault class. Has a 440 muzzle velocity, and the reason why people are calling this a R.A.W.R killer is because the R.A.W.R is probably one of the strongest assault rifles in the game, but it's hindered because of its very slow firing rate and very small magazine. In this gun, it's got a much higher firing rate, about 100 more rounds per minute than the R.A.W.R, but also doing the same damage and having the same magazine size. So that's why people are saying it's going to be the R.A.W.R killer, because it's got that higher firing rate. So you'll be able to shoot and put more rounds down range, even though you still have that small magazine, but you'll still have that same damage. But this also might hinder it, because that small mag with higher firing rate, you're going to be letting out much more rounds, so you're also going to be having to change ammo or switch mags really quick, because you only have that 20 round magazine. The next gun is a brand new sniper rifle called the CS5, and it has a possible integrated silencer. In the picture that I saw, it looks like it's an integrated silencer, but who knows? Snipers in Battlefield typically aren't that, or suppressors on snipers in Battlefield are typically not that used, because it causes much more bullet drop, and it tends to make the rifle much weaker. So what I'm thinking they're going to do is they will make an integrated silencer, but at the same time they'll make it so you can take it off, so then technically it's really not integrated, because you wouldn't be able to take an integrated silencer off. But it fires it at 63 rounds per minute, which is the same as the Scout Elite. Has a muzzle velocity of 400 and 300 suppressed, a 10 round magazine, and obviously 100 max damage for a headshot and 59 minimum. So this just seems like another sniper. I mean, the last DLC, the Naval Strike, had the SR-338 sniper, and that was a huge disappointment. It was extremely weak. It was like a really bad sniper DMR hybrid that just didn't work out well. So maybe they're trying to make it up with this CS5, and the CS5 looks like it. Like, there's the heavy sniper rifles in the game that are powerful but yet kind of clunky, like the 98B, where it's powerful but not very maneuverable. And then there's like the Gold Magnum, which is still powerful but a little more quicker and more maneuverable, and I feel like the CS5 is going to be more like the Gold Magnum, where it's smaller, a little weaker than a sniper rifle like the 98B, but it's also going to have the maneuverability, and the bolt's going to be quick or something like that. Next up is on to the equipments, and this is where it gets interesting. So engineers, as everyone knows, engineers have EOD bots, and they're the little kind of robots on tracks that can go around and either repair or destroy things. And this thing is called the Wally. It's basically a mounted machine gun on a EOD bot on steroids. It's got a mounted, I can't tell if it's a 50 cal machine gun or if it's a M240B, because I saw some gameplay of it, and the gameplay, it sounded like when you shoot a 50 caliber machine gun, but at the same time, that they might have just thrown that in there because they haven't actually made the sound yet for this particular equipment. But it carries 600 rounds, and it does the 34 max damage and 24 minimum damage that light machine guns typically have. But I'm not sure if this is going to be on the Wally or there's going to be a separate piece of equipment. But it also has a 3GL grenade launcher, and I'm not sure if those are going to be two separate Wallies, one with a mounted machine gun and then one with a grenade launcher, or if the grenade launcher will be on the mounted Wally with the machine gun. But it seems overpowered, but I highly doubt it, because on large maps, who's really going to be wanting driving around in this thing? The 3GL, it sounds scary, but it's really not. I saw a video clip where it took a bunch of grenades to just even blow up a four-wheeler, so against armor, it's not really that bad. But against infantry, that's where it kind of concerns me, because that seems like that's extremely powerful, and if they're both on the same Wally and then they can shoot grenade launchers and also shoot a machine gun, that just seems like a force to be reckoned with, if you ask me. Like, let's say an engineer goes into a TDM game and he's just rolling around in this Wally thing, just mowing them down. And this is what I thought in my mind that would be really fucking goofy. Let's say, this is probably actually something that me and my friends are going to do. We're going to get a bunch of Wallies together, and we're going to go into a conquest game, and there'll be like 6 Wallies just patrolling, mowing down people who come to fuck with us. And I just, in my head, I can just imagine that, and we're definitely going to do that. That just seems fucking goofy as shit. But on to the last piece of information is the riot shield. And the riot shield is the one that I'm the most skeptic about. Riot shield has been in Call of Duties before, but with Call of Duties, they seem much more different, because in this game, obviously the gameplay mechanics are different than Call of Duty, but the riot shield will not be a weapon. It will not be a gadget. It will be a weapon. So you won't have a primary. The riot shield will take over your primary. And in a game like Battlefield, that just seems like it won't work out. Especially on Conquest, where you have these large maps. If you're stuck with a riot shield and you're trying to run around these large maps, it just doesn't seem like it's going to work. And it'll be a one-hit kill, so all you have to do is run up and bump somebody, and it's a one-hit kill, which I will admit that's overpowered. But the riot shield obviously has a huge downside, and there are rumors that this is only for support, which would make sense, but who knows? That's not really been confirmed. And so that's pretty much it, guys. The riot shield is a little concerning because it just seems like something that wouldn't quite fit in the game, but who knows, it might be concerning, and then people will use it and realize it sucks, and then it might drop off the map. So the gun that I'm most excited for out of all of this is probably the SIG MPX, just because that one seems like the coolest gun out of them all, and then the Bulldog. We'll see if that's the Scar H Killer or not. So thank you guys for watching. I'm Jared from It's HDG Gaming. Please make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more information for Battlefield 4. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I will see you guys later.